think when it comes to actually the mechanism of moving the robot upwards, we know that we're going to do a winch or something simple. So the biggest thing just comes to grabbing onto the bar. The only thing originally that we thought of for grabbing onto the bar and not moving was if we were able to grab onto the bar like 360, as much force as possible. But then we realized that
When you say 360, you mean like on top and on the bottom?
Yeah,
like a full grip on the bar. However, we realized, so this is the bar. While you have to be supported by the bar, there are bits of the frame itself, here, here, and here, that you can interact with. So, our conclusion was that if we wanted to build a climber that wouldn't slide on the bar, that if we were to do something that had been done in the past, which was have carabiners that if this was the bar, the face of the carabiner that like kind of clicks down just presses upwards on that. So what if you were to have two of them and also these other bars here, so that if you want to be in the middle, so like let's say we're the only team that can climb, we'd want to be in the middle so we're still level. What you do is you line up the two carabiners so that they're here and here, so that you can only move the distance between the two carabiners amongst that middle point. But if we run into another team and they say, we're going to grab on over here and slide down to counteract that, we have our two carabiners grab on here and here, and then, or here and here, and then this bar would prevent us from moving that way. If that makes sense.
And this is, you have to give it drawn, so two carabiners. The green is the bar that we latch on, and this is the hook and slide that would go on the other side of the bar. So that way, if we were to be up top, we would not slide down, we'd be stopping. If we were to be on the very bottom, that'd be fine, because we would move down to here, and the carabiners, if we were reinforced enough, we'd have like maybe two or something. Somehow we would reinforce those, so we wouldn't snap off. And
Yeah.
we haven't decided yet, but I think that for, like, because this is the bar starting at level, but it could start at the bottom, it could start at the top. We might be having like a bearing here that would be tight enough that wouldn't move during matches. Loose enough that we move at the beginning, like to the left, we decide we're gonna be on the left side at the top. And then once we latch onto it, as we climb up, the weight of the robot will slowly level it down. So we'd be able to move with the.
So that would allow us to slide wherever we want. Would that be a motor? Or
No,
is that-
no. So the idea is that at the beginning of the match, like before the match begins, so we also had some discussion about like what this strategy would look like. So let's say we get to the other team and they say, hey, grab the robot on 15 seconds remaining. We will wait for you to grab on and then we'll both go up together. But less than ideally, we run into a team that says, hey, once we grab on the bar, the way our climber works, we have to start going up. But I don't know how their climber would work, but let's say that we live in that one.
Yeah, they climb up without us on there.
Yes.
So it's like
So, well, this is a sort of a pre-match kind of planning thing. Like they say basically we have to grab on first. The idea is that this bearing is tight enough that before the match, we figured out basically the maximum angle that whatever the bar is up, that's the angle at which the bar is at, up all the way. So the idea being they grab on, they're down, the bar is all the way up. So if this is the bar, this bearing is tight enough that during the match it's not going to move. However, before the match, we press down on the bar so that it's like this, so that whenever this bar comes up, both the carabiners hit at the same time, actually gripping the bar, both of them gripping the bar, instead of if we stayed level, one carabiner would hit first, and now we're hanging by one carabiner. So,
Question, do those carabiners stay on the bar, or is there a way that we could have it like, carabiner attaches and then it detaches from our robot and there's like a string that we actually...
No, we haven't decided, this is just the
Yes.
claw, we haven't decided.
yes,
how
this
it
is just the claw. We have not decided winch.
Yeah.
We have not decided.
double up, so it could be like a rope.
Yeah, we have.
I have another question. So one
Yeah.
thing that I was thinking about earlier was, so if you have two hooks and you have one arm go up and it hooks this way, what if you have another arm that goes up slightly at an angle, goes above it, goes forward, and then you're hooked on from both sides, so then you don't have any potential of like moving.
Hooked onto the corners, so like hooked on right here.
No, like you have,
Just
you're
the
holding
regular
on
bar.
like this, like different
Oh, like
ways the claws are facing.
I mean so that required two
Right.
manipulations.
And
This
this
one
is
we
one.
drive forward and it hooked on
Okay.
at particular angle.
Yeah.
Because the bar only moves that way, it doesn't spin, right?
Right.
The idea here a little bit is just that this requires the lead, like there's a little bit larger margin for error than gripping the bar like that.
Right.
Yeah. This requires driving forward and you're on. And that's
Especially because, unlike in past games where a lot of teams did do it that way, there was a wall right there that
Yeah.
was always the same distance away. This is a bar floating in the middle of the field. There's pretty much no,
Well, there's
yeah,
Well,
So
unless
we
you
would-
wanted to use the posts that support instructional on that though.
that's true. But those
Yeah,
are
that's not-
still awkwardly placed away.
Yeah. We've got another like release bar on this side, kick on the other side. We could maybe like once we make we could like get rid of that and just go on from the other side. Because we say, but we but having that freedom to go on each side, I guess, yeah.
So if you have two carabiners on and then the things on the end, like what happens if you're trying to hook on this end and then you have this thing here? Isn't that like where the bar is supposed to be? Are they movable?
So, if you're driving on, if this should kind of be because if you're driving,
It's just like a seat.
yeah, you're driving forward.
Okay, okay, okay. So
The-
that
if-
moves around the
yeah,
bar too.
so
Yeah.
you're driving this way. So this is just on the bar.
All you have to do is aim so that way the bar is in between these two. So we don't know how
We don't know.
we don't know the distances yet, but that's the point that we need to do.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm asking you to repeat yourself. Did you come up with a strategy on how to level the bar if it's not level already, or to grab a non-level bar?
We would hopefully
Yeah, we.
that would probably be a clip in the beginning where it's saying the bar they'll be able to say we're climbing so far we're not level and we would maybe make the climber to be at an angle already. So
Okay.
it hooks on, it's at an angle.
Yeah, the only way I can see a successful way of climbing at a bar that's already not level would be to have each of the waypoints that it grabs on moving on its own independent axis. Which now you're just adding more and more.
So the plan is just to only climb on a level bar. Is that what I heard, or?
Climb on a level bar, or if we're planning on not climbing on a level bar,
Okay.
then we have that ability. But we have to know that ahead of time.
Right, we need to make that decision. Okay.
And I think that this is something that teams are going to be willing to cooperate on. I don't think anyone's going to lie to you and say,
No, that's fair.
Jared,
Why not just have that the joint that you're talking about be flexible and just spring load it to center? So if you go up, so it's in the middle, if you go up and it's leaning this way, the first carabiner pushes on, it clicks in, and the second carabiner clicks on to keep raising the arm.
That could be a possibility. We
Right,
haven't gone
and
that far yet.
trapping yourself into, because if you say, oh, we're only going to climb if it's at a 16-degree angle and your partner's climber breaks, you have 0 climbs rather than 1. And trapping yourself into a certain thing happening on the field feels like a bad decision.
We will have that.
yeah, you might need help us with that. Develop that idea.
Well, it just sounds like if you just rotate the carabiner so rather than drive into it, if you're under it, maybe make it at like an angle so if you go straight up and it's like right on top of it, it like latches. Right? So that way you can just keep going, even if it's like at this position, it'll latch early. If it's
Well, then the problem with that is that no one else is on the bar. Okay, well, it depends on the lines there. with, in regards to, that you might just push the bar up.
But eventually it has to stop.
Eventually it'll
But
stop.
eventually, that's correct.
Why are we using carabiners out of curiosity? Like,
It's an easy latching.
It's an easy latch.
why
We
is it
wanna-
a latch? Why can't it just be a hook?
Why can't it just be a hook?
Why does it have to latch on?
Like,
You could, but
Safety.
you just drive in and done. You could hook, but then you have to go up and then down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, when it comes to hooks, that's the problem.
How is that a problem then?
I don't see it as a problem because I agree you have to go down with this anyhow.
Yeah, like I don't see it as a problem at all because at that point you can drive your hook to where this is so then you know you're lined up and then you know the gap.
Could do that. But if you hold your arm up. But if you have a carabiner, so you hit it, now you're latched.
Not necessarily. Like if it doesn't open and everything and
Well, in the end, that's how the carabiner is open. Unless it's broken.
Do we have time to get the right type of carabiner in 3 days?
I assume
I'm
it's
actually not optimistic about that. I think that's a good point.
there's a large
I think you won't be able to get one. I don't think we have any because it's a big carabiner you're talking about.
yeah.
And I also think you have to build your own carabiners from the standpoint of, A, we need it big, we need it in 3 days, and it does solve your one problem of making or having sufficiently strong carabiner so sliding doesn't rip it off. You could ditch the outer arms if you had a sufficiently rigid, strong hook or carabiner.
So if we had a hook,
So-
they'd be sliding without the.
They're going to slide hooked or carabiners.
Yeah.
I know, but
Yeah.
so.
I-
I'm sorry?
Did you say get rid of this?
You could get rid of that if you made your carabiners strong enough to hold the load against side loading. Because that's what you have them on there for, right?
Well, no, that was just the point of these is to make sure that if we're on the end, that we're not sliding towards the center.
So we
Okay.
We stay low, so we let Gene knows to get on the other end.
I think those are gonna snap off. The weight of the robot pulling on that edge, sliding towards the center.
You could make them strong enough, but they will be
Preferably with
substantial.
the arm.
Right,
Yeah.
they'd be huge. And we're trying to have a light robot, is at least what we discussed.
So that'll possibly.
Well, I don't think that when it comes to that, it matters that much how much it weighs because it's not really in the,
It doesn't contribute to the weight you're lifting.
it's not the weight you're lifting. That doesn't matter.
That's not the weight you're
Just the
lifting, it's the
horizontal.
weight you're keeping from sliding. Like it's way, if you're on a hill with like an 80-degree incline and you have a wheelbarrow that's empty versus a wheelbarrow that's full of like 100 pounds of rocks, it's way harder to keep 100 pounds of rocks in a wheelbarrow in place.
But we know the maximum incline is only 16 degrees.
It's an exaggeration.
Yeah, but
It's
still.
an example to illustrate what I'm talking about.
I still don't think it's as big of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even the thing that I was mostly concerned about. I'm concerned about the carabiners.
Yeah, I agree with you that hooks might be a better option.
Okay.
I do like the idea of, if you do carabiners, of pushing up underneath it though, as opposed to driving into it. Line-wise, it's still going to be challenging, but
Do you think Home Depot have carabiners?
that size to hold that weight,
Menards one.
I'm not optimistic, but I don't know.
Question: Have you guys consider having like if we like hook on to having like a wheel or something that's motor powered, so that we like hook on and something else hooks on and it's off and shift our position balance.
Oh, no, that's a whole other motor. What's a whole other motor?
It's one more motor.
That's also identified wire. We don't know. We have to
There's
send
a
a
lot.
gravity hook where I can just have a screen. Or
This is something that we can look into that.
Yeah, as well as if you think about, you also then have to grip onto that bar pretty well.
Yeah, you have to have a good amount of time.
And that was one of the problems that we were thinking about, was just that if you wanted to build a really rigid climber that wouldn't slide around, or that would slide around by the power of the motor, at that point, you're basically treating the bar like a track.
Yeah.
You would need to make sure that your mechanism perfectly.
I mean, theoretically, if you had your wheel that went up on, like you had a hook and you had a string that went up and down to your winch. And you pulled it up, so it clamped the bar between the top hook and the motor. That way, and then as you pull it up the rest of your robot, it's still connected, it's still on there. So all of their force that's pulling the robot up is also in that friction. Just an idea.
Yeah.
It'd definitely be complicated, but it'd be a benefit, I think, to a climb. I feel like having two robots climb at the same time is very difficult, especially if we're if we're not the 125 pounds that everyone else is possibly going to be.
Yeah, you're gonna fly anyway. That's true.
And I mean, just randomly guessing that level is going to